welcome to this episode of It's Just Bourbon. I'm Russ Heaps, and I am here with my good buddy. He is sort of the beer whisperer for beer to whiskey, but he's got a great palate and has a lot to add when we do whiskeys. So, Big John Richards here is. What's your middle name?
Why is that important?
I was just asking. I'm curious.
I have a middle name. It's Big John.
I just thought it was
We're
Big.
just throwing that Richards part out there for some
thought
other
it was-
people.
Isn't it Garlock? Isn't it Garlock? It sounds like a professor at Hogwarts. And it's just, I just mentioned this because I just found this out in the last week or so. His middle name never entered my mind. We were having a conversation and it came
Why
up,
would it?
and it's like Garlock.
It's Garlock.
Which I think is great.
So do I.
And particularly for somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Also that.
But yeah. So
I
anyway,
have also never named a character Garlock.
have you not?
No.
Why not?
It's my name.
Not that anyone knows except you and me and them.
And
Now they know. Now they know. Holy cow. Anyway, so we are here shooting some segments for Big John and 5, our beer segments, and it was like, why let an opportunity go by where we don't actually sit down and pour a little bourbon and talk about that. So,
in case you're wondering why we may have reached a theoretical threshold
yes,
out
yeah,
there.
yes, we are cresting. We are
We're surfing.
Yeah, we're riding that wave in at this point. Anyway, so the bourbon that I chose.
If anyone's still listening.
Yeah, anyone who's still there. The bourbon I chose is a special Rabbit Hole bourbon, and we featured Rabbit Hole before on the site, but that is their regular bourbon. This one is one that is aged. Now they're still not, well, they are distilling their own bourbon now, but what's in the bottles now isn't anything that distilled. They're sourcing this. But anyway, it is, this bourbon is bourbon they've aged 5 years and finished off in sherry cask. And it's just not they experimented a lot, and they finally came up with what they thought was rum cap. What is this?
No, it's sherry.
Sherry.
We did this before we sat down.
We did.
Where are you getting rum casks from?
Because that's what we're doing next.
Oh. Hey. Teaser.
Teaser. Yeah, we got a rye coming up that's done in rum cask.
Excellent.
Anyway, so these are Pedro Jimenez sherry casks that these are done in, and apparently when it comes to sherry, that's one of the sweeter sherries. And so I just thought that this would be an excellent thing for us to sit around and sip after drinking beer all afternoon.
What's the other big bourbon that's aged in sherry casks? Is it Angel's Envy?
Yeah, but that's aged in port casks.
Oh, I'm calling back. I
Yes.
didn't mean to call back.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You are a jerk.
I'm an evil human, but I keep it inside. In this case, I was
in our
legitimately
2020 blind bourbon tasting, we had Angel's Envy was one of the choices, one of the things that we tasted, and in the first round that it was in, I messed up and I said it was finished off in sherry casks. It was actually port casks.
Unforgivable sin, apparently.
According to you.
Forgot.
According to you. But anyway, that's where all this is happening. This, though, is in sherry casks.
Not rum.
Not rum.
That was
Not
actually
port.
a poke.
Not port. It's sherry casks. See, it's again. It's.
I'll admit when I am, though.
The only reason why John will sit here and do this with me is because I own all the equipment. That's the only reason. That's it. That's the sum total of it. The sum total of it.
I'm not sure that's true.
But that's okay because I'm happy to have them and we have a lot of fun doing this stuff.
We do.
So here we are with this.
Sitting here not drinking.
Yes, here we are with this rabbit hole that is finished off in sherry casks. Reading off my notes here, it's 93 proof, and it's basically, they call the age about 5 years old. Cost-wise, 75 to 85 bucks a bottle. This bottle, I think I bought for about 80 bucks, but I bought it at the distillery in Louisville. They've been now operating for 5-6 years. What's it say?
2012.
2012, which makes them carry the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about 8 years that they've been doing this stuff. I bought this. I've had this probably 2 years, so it was probably about 2 years ago. But anyway, I bought it at the distillery in Louisville, right off of Whiskey Row, which is Main Street in Louisville. It's part of that whole district, and it's well worth the.
They have a tasting room on site?
Yes, they do.
That's excellent.
Yes, they do. Having said all that,
Cheers.
cheers.
Oh, you smell sherry on the nose of that. Ooh.
Right off the bat, yeah. And in fact, the sherry in this somewhat overpowers the usual bourbon.
There's not much in molasses or caramel. There's a lot of fruit on that though. It's all from the presumably all from the sherry. Ooh, that's sweet. Ooh, there's a big plum like candy on the front of that.
You get some of the sugar and the caramel on the finish,
Yeah.
on the back of your tongue. But yeah, it starts off a kind of a sweet thing.
There's some caramel there too. So I was gonna say caramel apples, but it's all plums. I remember having a beer. I don't remember the beer, but I remember having a beer and going, oh, that's what sugar plums taste like. And I kind of got that same sensation out of this.
This is a big. This is a big candy thing.
Yeah.
It's a big candy thing.
It is. Straight off the streams from the Rock Candy Mountain.
Yeah. If you have a friend who's like, yeah, I can't drink bourbon,
It might change their mind.
this could change their mind. This could change their mind.
It's remarkably smooth too. There's a lot of tingle, but not a lot of burn.
In fact, there's virtually no burn as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
There's a little front, middle burn. Just a little ping off the front. The rest of it's just tingle. That's really interesting. There's some apple stuff that's starting to play out as it sits there, which I would expect a little more apple out of a bourbon than a lot of plum. Did we bring an eyedropper over here?
No. I'll be right back.
You'll never notice. This is magic of video editing.
No, I'm not gonna edit this out.
Yeah.
This wasn't anything
He
stupid.
says from off camera.
Yeah, this wasn't anything stupid. It was stupid to the
Yes.
point that I forgot to put it on the table.
That's silly for you to offer it to me first. 3 drops.
See, I think I'm just gonna put one in. Because I really like what's going on here the way it is.
I do too, but I want to see what happens.
I don't know how far Rabbit Hole's reach is. I don't know exactly what their distribution is. I know a year and a half ago you couldn't get it in South Carolina, and now you can. But I gotta tell you that I think they're expanding and they're making more, and you ought to look for it. This is wonderful. It's a little pricey. It's on the higher end of bourbons. Well, not on the higher end, obviously. There's crazy stuff out there. But in terms of fairly accessible bourbons, it's, $80, probably, 85 maybe. But, wow.
It's turned into like apples and log cabin syrup. If it adds up for you, you should add 2 more drops of water because it's delicious.
I am so easily swayed.
I'm very persuasive.
Well, John brings a lot of value to the table because although he's basically a craft beer guy, he's sort of our beer whisperer at Beer to Whiskey. He's got a great palate and he senses all sorts of things, even when drinking bourbon or Scotch or Irish whiskey. I've done all of those with him. And so when he says something, I usually obey.
Uh-huh. It's still real big on the nose, though. You could get scared away by the nose of this.
In what terms?
It smells like it's going to burn. It doesn't,
It doesn't at all.
but it smells like it's gonna. Some of the caramel pops out. That's what I was talking about with that log cabin syrup flavor. It's like caramelized apples that you poured pancake syrup on. God, this thing is sweet.
It is. I like it.
It's satisfying sweet. It is not cloying in any way. It is as smooth as butter.
It is. And I would say, and I get that. It's almost a butter thing out of it. It's
Yeah.
almost a.
And I'm gonna go finish this in private.
I don't know what else you're gonna do, but it's.
Time to let these people go.
I guess so. We've drugged this on as long as we could.
Right. Come on.
Text Miss Lily. We'll see you next time.